Grocery store workers are essential and feeling the strain. April 4th, 2020. From produce clerks to personal shoppers to warehouse stockers, millions of grocery workers across the U.S. are keeping food on their shelves throughout this pandemic for those of us hunkering at home. Their work is essential, needed, and valued, and yet many say they don't feel safe. Just this week, workers at Amazon and Instacart demanded better protections, including paid sick leave and ready access to personal protective supplies, such as hand sanitizer and wipes. Virtual journalist Sarah Merck checked in with a sampling of grocery workers from across the nation to hear about their experiences on the job in recent weeks and what they say needs to change. Portland, Oregon. After I spent a week at home during the pandemic, a trip to the grocery store felt like an adventure worthy of changing out of pajamas. I was surprised to see how much the grocery store had transformed. It even had a bouncer now. Please stay 6 feet apart. Orange circles mark where to stand. No more than 50 customers in store capacity limited. Gloves for all workers. Cash registers clean between customers. Carts sanitized after each customer. Workers don't touch customers' reusable bags. Oh my. There are more than 2.9 million grocery workers in the United States, and although they're on the front line of the pandemic, most don't make much money and many have no paid sick leave. Grocery clerks, for instance, in 2019 were paid an average of $11.54 per hour. To know more about what grocery workers are experiencing amid the COVID-19 pandemic, I checked in with about 30 workers across the country. How has your workplace been during the last 2 weeks? How are you feeling emotionally? I feel a mixture of proud to be working to keep basic services running in the city and also resigned to probably getting sick sooner or later. Stocker cashier, San Francisco. I am tired and drained. I have worked 50 to 60-hour weeks. I'm called in on my day off and 12-hour days are normal. Shift manager, Baltimore. Almost everyone I talked to felt unsafe at work, being constantly exposed to the public. I feel good at work. I feel happy to have a job that is important. But safe? No way. People are still coughing with their mouths uncovered. I wash my hands and use sanitizer, change the latex gloves I wear under my work gloves, and walk onto the floor to see a customer picking his nose and looking for the best milk date. Grocery clerk, Portland, Oregon. We are allowed to stay home if we want, but no one really has much sick time to use. Bakery worker, New Jersey. In some ways, the crisis presents grocery workers' unions an opportunity to negotiate long-held demands, like higher wages and paid sick leave. Jonathan Williams is the communications director for United Food and Commercial Workers Chapter Local 400, which represents 35,000 workers in 6 states and Washington, D.C. Too many grocery workers don't have access to paid time off when they get sick. They're put in an impossible position between coming to work sick and risking infecting others, or missing out on a much-needed paycheck for that day. The union demands minimum 14 days paid sick leave, hazard pay of $2 an hour and double overtime, officially classify grocery workers as essential in all states, install plexiglass at checkout stands. Some chains are starting to address these issues and have raised wages temporarily by at least $2 an hour since March 1st, including Target, Amazon, Walmart, Smart & Final, Heave, Albertsons, and Safeway. Albertsons CEO Vivek Sankaran, March 20th. In ways that we could not even imagine overnight, our country changed. As a result, it changed the way our teams conduct business. The pay raises and things like plexiglass shields for cashiers are supposed to be temporary, but decisions made during this crisis could stick around. Health-wise, the store is as clean as it's ever been, and it's great. Even management is washing their hands. It makes you wonder why we couldn't have had these food safety standards before. Cheesemonger, Las Vegas. And while some stores are making changes to workers' pay and granting more sick time, those changes aren't happening everywhere. Management is not questioning people calling in sick, but they are definitely not encouraging us to stay home. Produce clerk, Portland, Oregon. It's been chaotic to say the least, and I am feeling very drained emotionally. Personal shopper, Cleveland. There is no such thing as unskilled labor. Grocery and other labor jobs are thankless and underpaid necessities that keep our communities thriving. Frankly, workers' rights in general need to be completely revamped and prioritized. If not now, when? Stock clerk, Seattle. For now, grocery workers are feeling the weight of Americans' panic. We do very demanding physical work for long periods of time for low wages. I am grateful for those that acknowledge this and are kind. We have families too, and are facing the same fears and shortage of supplies. shift manager, Baltimore. Before the coronavirus, I didn't really think about how food got on the grocery store shelves. It just appeared there overnight, and the shelves were always full. This pandemic has made us all realize how much we depend on a broad community of people and how much our lives are all connected.